Virgin Australia has cancelled a quarter of its flights over the next 2 months as the Omicron outbreak does send staff into isolation and reduces demand for travel. The airline has suspended 10 routes from late January, including its only international route, which is Sydney to Fiji. Virgin says it will be attempting to find alternative services for affected customers. For more on how the travel sector is being impacted, joining us live now is Graham Turner, the CEO of Flight Centre. Graham, appreciate your time. Just how much of a nightmare has this been for travellers? How disruptive has it been more broadly for flights, for hotels, for people right around the country?
Look, it's been very disruptive, obviously, and it's obviously started, March, April last year, the year before last now. And this is just another chapter in it. But I think there's a lot of good news behind the Omicron wave, whichever wave it might be, depending on the state you're in. It really does look like we are going to come to a peak pretty quickly. I think you said New South Wales in the middle of January, Queensland probably a week or two later, for example. So, come February, and we're going to be, I think, and from what the experts say and what the modelling does, we're going to be coming out of this. And I think, there's an expression that's been used about living with the virus. I think this will be one of the final straws in this. People will accept, at long last, we've got to live with the virus. There's going to be some downsides to that. But, reacting negatively to it all the time, shutting down or having hard contact rules, or even when you're symptomless, you're infected but symptomless, I think that's all going to change very quickly once this peak is reached.
Yeah, we all hope so, but still you can understand why people would be pretty nervous about booking flights at the moment, making holiday plans. Have we seen a real shift to more flexible cancellation policies for people who are hesitant to book a holiday because of the ongoing uncertainty? Can you assure people that they don't stand to lose all their hard-earned cash because of COVID-related disruptions?
Yeah, look, all the airlines and a lot of the hotel chains have got pretty flexible arrangements here, particularly if the changes come through government restrictions. If people just change their mind, that's not always the case, but you should make sure you have good travel insurance generally on this. It's going to be important. Look, there are two types of travellers we see. One is the traveller that's quite gung-ho, is not worried about it, probably has had Omicron or the Delta variant, and is fully vaccinated, is not too worried about travelling. And there's the other more timid traveller who, will probably delay their major travel until the middle of this year rather than earlier. So, it's a whole range of different reactions from people. The reality is now the domestic borders are open. Most of the international borders will be open for Australians over the next week or two. So people who want to travel, and initially it's generally people visiting close relatives and friends, then it'll be obviously business travellers have to get overseas if you've got business over, in other parts of the world, if you're an Australian business. And obviously we want to welcome tourists back in as soon as we can, because this infection is going to be with us for a while, probably for some years, if not for many years. And we just got to get back to treating things as normal, living with the virus. And I think that's what most people and most politicians, most chief health officers now are coming around to this. It's changed dramatically, both because of the Omicron mildness and contagiousness, but also because of the attitude of the public. We've just been working around this virus for so long now.
How big of a game changer will the rapid antigen tests be for the travel sector? And what did you make of the delay that we have seen in securing supplies at this point of the pandemic? As someone who's a leader in this sector and someone who's used to managing a lot of people, what do you make of the management more broadly that we've seen?
Look, it's been a bit disappointing. I mean, I worked in London for 2 months, July, August. Even at that stage, the rapid antigen test, you got free from the National Health and you did your own test, took responsibility for yourselves. I think that soon even rapid antigen tests won't be needed to travel. You'll just assume that if you're feeling sick, like the flu, you stay at home for a few days. You can test yourself if you really want to know that you've got the Omicron virus. But I think within a month, even rapid antigen tests will be a thing of the past generally. They'll be very much available, of course, which they aren't now. But, if you're feeling a bit crook now, you obviously stay at home and assume that it's probably the Omicron you've got without having to bother to test, because obviously most people can't get hold of the tests. But I think in a month or so, that'll be a thing of the past too.
And just narrowing in on your business, on Flight Centre, more broadly, what is the outlook coming from a business perspective? Are you worried about the pandemic trend? I see that people are making more bookings online, more directly booking with airlines as opposed to through a travel agent. What does that do to a business like yours?
Look, we've been battling this, obviously, lack of business now, as have airlines for the last 2 years, nearly 2 years. And we're in a pretty good shape. Look, in very simple transactions like domestic bookings, people are going to be able to do them online. They can do them through our website or other websites or directly with the airlines. But I can absolutely assure people that for the next 6 months, and I've travelled overseas twice in the last 12 months to UK in particular, and you do need experts helping you with this. The regulations and rules and protocols change. They often change daily, but certainly don't change weekly. So in the short term, you'll need an expert to help you, someone who does it all the time for their living, and that's probably where we can certainly help people. But look, we've been hearing about the online threat, which we're participating in now for the last 20 years, and I don't think it's going to change dramatically. If people are booking complex holidays or complex travel, they'll need a travel agent, they'll need someone to help them with them generally, unless they're an unusual sort of person that likes doing everything themselves. And if it's very simple, there'll be more stuff going online. But we're pretty confident our business model caters for everyone in this area. And we still give travel agents like Flight Centre still give the airlines out of Australia something like 65 to 70% of their business. So we're still a very important part of their distribution, if you like.
Graham Turner, appreciate you joining us. Thanks so much for your time.
Thank you, Ash.